Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's watch this video together! Game exchange, culture shock.
Hey everyone, Gaijin here.
Hi Gaijin.
With Valentine's Day fresh in our thoughts, I figured this would be a good opportunity to talk about relationships.
Ooh.
More specifically, synthetic relationships. Yes friends, it's another dating sims video. Though unlike the first time I covered this topic on this channel, I want to play devil's advocate and explain why, perhaps under the cultural context in which it exists, dating sims aren't actually as bad as we make them out to be. Sure, there are still some games that are incredibly offensive and perverse to an extent that even I would worry, but let's pull back a little and look at the full situation at hand. Now consider this. Nintendo has distributed on the DS and 3DS arguably Japan's most popular dating sim, Love Plus.
Love Plus.
Oftentimes we in the West associate dating sims and sexuality as hand in glove when it comes to its associated gameplay. But if dating sims are all about weird perverted relationships like so many people claim, how in the world would Nintendo, the most squeaky clean, family-friendly game
clean, family-friendly, wholesome
company in the world allow for such a game to be associated with them? The answer is rather simple. It doesn't. Love Plus focuses heavily on the player's relationships with the three other women of the game.
True, absolutely true. Keep it genuine, keep it authentic, and keep it innocent. A pure, genuine love for one another, even though it's just a video game.
It's about relationship building and very little about sexual encounters. In
True.
fact, the furthest the game goes is very generalized kissing by tapping the gamepad. I said it in my other video and I'll say it here. That's adorable. Now let's take a look at the game that I so harshly criticized in my previous video about this subject matter, 3D Custom Girl. Yes, my friends, I did shell out the money to have this game imported, extra, peripheral, and all. I went in curious just to see how base and physical these kinds of games have become.
Did you? I went in curious. Okay, sounds suspicious. A bit sus, isn't it?
You know what? I was totally blown away. It's a mighty small detail, but it makes all the difference in the world. Let me show you the introduction and exit of the game. Still don't know what I mean? Let's translate what she says. This floored me when I saw this. Now let me explain. While yes, it is possible to give your girl a really big rack, it doesn't really get to the level of insane fetish that I've seen in other products of Japan.
Oh gosh. Okay. Keep it family friendly. Keep it wholesome. Thank you.
Even more so, the rest of the body sliders don't change as much of the body of the woman as one might think. And trust me, there are lots of different ways this game could have gone to appeal to a multitude of fetishistic crowds. But it didn't. Instead, customization of this game comes in the form of all the different clothes, accessories, and hairstyles, which are things that are totally feasible in the real world.
True.
Combine that with the intro and exit of the obvious digital girl who is ecstatic to see you and is incredibly depressed when you leave, I realized something. Dating sims, even ecchi games, are not just some cheap physical thrill. More often than not, they really make an attempt to bring companionship to the lonely.
That's true, especially in Japan, where companionship can be improved.
That may seem like the most obvious thing ever, but I think we misconstrue the meaning of loneliness.
Yeah.
There are base urges that people have, and I think a lot of us in the West confuse that with what true loneliness is. A life devoid of people in it who love you unconditionally, who are happy to see you be happy, and sad when you're feeling down. Make no mistake, there is a very defined difference between the two. At this point, a lot of you are probably asking, well, if they're so lonely, why don't they find relationships to fill that void? And that, my fellow theorists, is the problem the Japanese government is trying to figure out. I've talked a lot about this in my previous video, but that was almost 3 years ago, and I think I should do a quick refresher. I've read article after article after article of people trying to explain that not only do Japanese young people want sexual relationships less and less, but also try to explain why. Now, speaking from 15 years of cultural experience, this is the reason why. Japanese men are hugely pressured to put in insane hours at their job.
At their job, for their work. It's very unfortunate.
10 to 14 hours a day, nearly 6 days a week. And after that job is done, there's even more social pressure to go out until midnight with colleagues to eat and drink. As you can imagine, this fractures and destroys familial relationships to a point that there's seemingly no purpose in having them. Men not only lack the time to spend with their wives, but lack even less time to pursue their own desires and hobbies. That's understandably crippling. So they hole up within themselves. They pull away from society and put the focus on themselves. These men don't want to sell their lives to a life of overexertion to a company, nor do they want to be in a marriage that is likely going to dissolve. And that's perfectly understandable given these conditions. That's why they turn to dating sims. And that's why these games have been on such a rise in the last 5 to 10 years. These soushoku danshi, as they're called, still want a life with someone they can love.
Soushoku danshi.
But with the obscene expectations of them in the workplace, how can they? How can they develop and foster a loving relationship with another person if 95% of their time is devoted to working? They can't. So, instead, they turn to Love Plus, they turn to 3D Custom Girl, and any number of dating sims in order to try to manage that aspect of their humanity. They don't do it because they want easy access to TNA. They do it because it's what they have time to do. Marriage to a real woman, you see, 5% of the time is fairly likely to create even more stress in one's life, probably ending in a bitter divorce. But with
more stress, more responsibility, it's the burdens that comes with it. You need to devote more of your time into it and not to work.
Dating sims, they can see their significant other when they finally have the time to do so. Even more so, their women will not judge them, yell at them, or accuse them. They are simply happy to see their man and don't care about anything else but their happiness. In a tragic, sad sort of way, that's unconditional love that these guys can't have but desperately want. It isn't fair, it isn't right, but that's the way it is. And this doesn't reside only with male gamers of Japan either. Oh no, I kid you not. There exists a business where you can sleep with a woman for $80 an hour. And no, I'm not talking about that kind of way. I mean, literally you are sleeping next to them. That's it. $80 an hour to simply share a bed. And the women who do it are paid pretty well too. So if this is about base sexual urges, why does it cost more to synthesize an aspect of an unconditional loving relationship than it is to hit up a soapland or a pink salon? Because it's not about that. It's about love. It's about what we understand to be real love.
Real love. Real companionship. To be there when you are feeling down. To be there when you're not feeling alright. To be there when you need someone to talk to. A person who listens and understands.
And if you think this is a Japan-only trend, I invite you to Google search for Jackie Samuel and the Snuggery. This concept of pay for emotional love has already crossed into our border.
Wow. Okay.
Ugh. This really is kind of a downer episode, huh?
Yeah.
You know what? Let's talk about something awesome from Japan. Like anime. I'm not really big into Malay, but come on, look at my freaking design. It's obvious that old school anime was a big inspiration for getting into Japan like I have. But you know what I hated? Freaking box sets. $50 to $100 for each? Blech. That's why I use Crunchyroll.com when I want to watch anything. They've got tons of great shows like Sailor Moon Crystal, Kill la Kill, and my personal favorite, Nippon no Mukashi Banashi. Ready and available on your computer, mobile devices, and even your Wii U now. And if you're a premium member, not only can you watch your anime ad-free, but you can also watch new episodes as soon as they broadcast in Japan. Not to mention, supporting Crunchyroll also means supporting Game Exchange Culture Shock, which lets me make even more episodes of culture and gaming. So what are you waiting for? Grab yourself a free 2-week trial at crunchyroll.com/Theorist, and say goodbye to overpriced cardboard, and hello to limitless anime.
Thank you so much. Really reminds me of a song from anime ending. Loneliness, finding back again, seems to be like it never ends. Give us hope through the labyrinth, oh shine on me. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you do like this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you feel anything share with us. Do remember to follow my channel and hope to see you in my next video. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of your support and subscribe for me. But hey, that's just a game. A game has changed. Culture shock. Thanks for watching. Thank you. And subscribe.